everyone, and welcome back to Disqualified. It is Caleb, Trevin, Zach behind that camera as always. We are here to talk about NXT Vengeance Day.
Who let Shawn Michaels cook?
It's a 5-star gourmet meal.
Who let Shawn Michaels cook?
Yeah, so, I've said it plenty of times. All gas, no brakes. There were a few road bumps. We will talk about that, but...
Luckily, they were center of the card, so the hype kept going.
Yeah, but oh my god. I thought... After the first match, I was like, okay, how did they follow this up? Second match, okay, how the fuck do they follow this up? Then the third match, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
And then it just kept getting better and better and better. So, let us start off with the show. They were showing the superstars around Washington, D.C. And, Washington don't look like that. So, like, why is it the Washington Monument?
Julia was staring at the Washington Monument, and I made the comment of big pointy rock.
And I said, Washington don't look like that. But, yeah, so, the first match of the night is your NXT Women's North American Championship match. Stephanie Vaquer versus your NXT Women's North American Champion, Fallon Henley of Fatal Influence.
Yeah. With the other two members at ringside.
Yeah, Jasmine Nix and JC Jane. So, this match was one hell of a way to open the match. Or the card.
The card, yeah.
Oh my god. So,
yep.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah, they pulled no punches. Like, they were clinching, they were grappling, they were haymakering, and I was like, hey, yo, what the?
Yeah, it started off very technically. They started off with a lot of grapples, and then towards the end of the match, you see a lot more of the big high spots. JC Jane getting involved twice in the match.
Yep, and I was like, who's gonna help Stephanie with the numbers game? Turned out she didn't need any help.
Yeah, so Stephanie, being a one-woman tank, takes out JC Jane and Jasmine Nix at the same time, taking them on 2-on-1.
Punch, super kick, another punch,
yeah.
Another super kick.
And this is after she already hit a feint kick in the ropes, basically a 619. And then it follows up with Fallon failing to hit one. Stephanie hitting a variation of her finisher on the apron, rolling Fallon back in, hitting her finisher in 1, 2, 3, and new and first South American born champion in WWE. Stephanie Vaquer is your NXT Women's North American Champion. Not the last we'll see of her tonight.
Nope.
But we'll get to that when we get to that.
In other news, for this title scene, however, the three women who have a number one contenders match this Tuesday, including Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Carmen Petrovich, were in the audience watching this match, and I feel like after watching this match, they probably had fear in their eyes. Because holy piss, Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, she is going to go on a lengthy reign. Whoever the first challenger is, so rip, rest in peace.
Good. You had your money on Carmen for that match.
I do have my money on Carmen just because they've given her the 2 wins. Mm-hmm. And I think Jada and Kalani are going to be too focused on fighting each other.
They need that 1v1,
yeah. But with that being said, I am not clairvoyant.
No.
They could give it to Jada. They could give it to Kalani.
You are not clairvoyant as seen as what's on my side of the table.
Yeah, we don't predict these, but we do grade the matches. So, what are you giving the match?
I'm gonna 4.5 because there was one spot during the whole like interruption spot where like Stephanie was looking strong, but it's like there was a spot where like you could obviously tell that Stephanie got decked by JC, and you could tell that the ref was trying not to acknowledge the decking.
Yeah.
Because like he was walking around the ring after a huge, like, blowout spot of, like, checking on Fallon, going to check on Stephanie. Whoop. Stephanie's in the middle of her outside interference spot. I should go back to Fallon.
Yeah.
It didn't subtract anything from the match, but it's just, like, it was an awkward spot because it was also a state of the match where it's like the ref could obviously tell there was outside interference.
I would rate this 4.75. It, like, and here's the thing, here's spoilers for most of the grades. Most of my grades aren't going to go lower than a 4. This was an amazing show.
Yes, no. Honestly, this PLE is probably... I get it, we are only 2 months in, but this is probably PLE of the Year contender.
Yeah, we might do a, like, little, just, like, grading the year out at the end of it. This is early contender for me, at least.
Yeah.
We
could honestly probably do a post last Mania up to this Mania PLE grading.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely card of the year so far, or show of the year. But after this, we go into a little bit of tag team action.
Yeah.
Fraxium, your NXT champions, or your NXT tag team champions, versus Briggs and Inumura. Why wasn't Inumura wrestling more regularly on NXT TV?
We misunderstood your game.
Yeah, we misunderstood your game. And Fraxium, I understand your game, and I was astounded.
Yes, literally, go watch our go watch, I believe it's either our NXT or SmackDown review, because we mentioned Fraxium and their state in the tag division. I think it was our NXT review of how dominantly they're booked and our fear for their future. This match extinguished a lot of that fear. They are strong. They are powerful.
Oh, so this is something like, there's a lot of spots I remember vividly. There was it was like a 450 leg drop that Frazier did to Briggs, and it looked like Briggs broke his nose, but he didn't. It was all fine. It was just really a fucking amazing sell job by him.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, there was the spot with Frazier going through for a suicide dive, getting caught by Briggs, and then Axiom comes out of nowhere. He takes out Briggs, or does Briggs catch him? No.
Briggs tosses Frazier towards the steps.
Yeah, Axiom takes him out.
Yep. But
And then we get the spot with Inumura holding up Axiom while Frazier is on his back.
Please go to sleep.
Yeah,
please go to sleep.
Putting a sleeper hold in. And, dude, Inumura, please stick around just for a little while longer.
Yes, like, I get the Mimi hood of sumo-style wrestling. Inumura was so fun to watch.
Yeah, there was the spot where he went into the sumo stance and then just bop, 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 bop. Axiom into the corner, and oh my god, I was like, oh, what the fuck is this?
And his style also has some funky chemistry with Briggs, because Briggs is toss a mofo around. Like, speaking of toss a mofo around, Briggs was on the top rope in chokeslam position with Frazier, and he saw Axiom, like, trying to make a save, looks at Frazier, and is like, chokeslams onto Axiom.
Yeah, man, this match was amazing. And, of course, your winners, and still your NXT Tag Team Champions, Fraxium. But it was more than, like, this match was amazing. We're going to grade the match real quick and then talk about what happened afterwards. But at the end of the match, the 4 men shook hands. So that was pretty cool. A little sign of respect. So, Trevin, what's your grade for this match?
5-star. Like, it was all gas, no breaks. There was not a spot I didn't like. Literally, my eyes were glued to that screen, being like, hey, yo, what the F?
Yeah, I completely agree. 5-star. It was perfect, down to the last detail.
Yep.
And now, what happened afterwards? What NXT or what Twitter is calling the Shield 2.0, your new faction on the scene, bunch of PC talents with Dion Lennox.
Mm-hmm.
They attack out of nowhere. They take out all 4 men, and then they stand tall. They will make an appearance later.
Yep.
And now seeing what they did after the main event, I can see why this didn't main event.
Yes.
But we'll get to that when we get to that. But
Yep.
Oh my god, we have a new faction. I love it. I really like just new groups coming in and taking over, because that's one thing I kind of miss about old school stuff, and it's kind of something that AEW is doing too much of. Funnily
Is
enough,
faction wars.
faction. I think, and it's kind of weird now because you have 3 factions, so now it's kind of getting a little bloated.
Mm-hmm.
But one of these factions is all guys, so that's different. But yeah, we don't know the name of this faction yet. That's
Not
why
yet,
we're just
no.
calling them Shield 2.0 or the faction.
Yeah.
They came out with like skeleton masks. The coolest one I saw was it's the big light-skinned dude with dreads. He had the mask with a eye in it, and that looked dope.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite was probably the dude in the do-rag with the knee brace, because he was just going balls to the wall.
Yep.
We'll discuss what happened with their spot later. But now we move on to what was
The strap match.
the strap match. It was good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it was good. It was mostly Trick getting offense in on Eddie Thorpe. But let's just peel the Band-Aid off. Eddie Thorpe wins with a low blow.
Yep, with a strap and rolls, hits his finisher for the 1, 2, 3, and the audience and all of us, and they even cut to some audience camera shots. Everyone was confused with this result.
Yeah. But hey, the result's only a part of the match. The match was amazing. We had first Eddie started whipping Trick with the strap.
Yep.
And that was it was okay. And then
You pissed off Trick.
you pissed off Trick, because Eddie did get some decent offense in, and then Trick just fucking hulked up out of nowhere. After it was like one corner running knee, he threw Trick into the other corner, and then he started taunting, and Trick just rose up and started whipping that ass.
Yep.
He gets a few lashes in with the strap, and what I thought should have been a trick shot knee was just a pull-in lariat. And then I believe he went for the trick shot and missed. And that's when Eddie grabs hold of the strap and lifts up.
Yep.
Causing Trick to low blow himself, because this was one where they did not tap the corners. It was a
pinfall strap match.
And yeah, so Eddie Thorpe wins with the low blow and a running knee. I'm gonna grade this match about a 4.
3.5.
It was good. It's just the ending confused me,
It did.
because it seemed like all signs were pointing to Trick winning. But if this is what I think is going to happen, we're going to get Trick versus Oba for Trick's send-off. It's just confusing, because I feel like this would have helped Trick get into that position.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed it because we ran into a little commercial marathon after this match. Eddie's push has felt like the least organic push we have seen in the recent years.
Yeah, infamously, I thought that he was released.
And then all of a sudden, he is in a deadline qualifier match.
Deadline qualifier match. He takes himself out, which then leads to Oba coming in.
Mm-hmm. And this whole storyline starts.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that a lot of his spots have been him as a punching bag. He doesn't look like a credible threat.
Mm-hmm.
But now he is all of a sudden going over in this match, which no one saw coming. And again, he was not in anyone's heads or mouths up until he all of a sudden reappeared for the Iron Survivor qualifier. And like, I look at the internet a lot, and a lot of people are, and like most of the community is confused of where the heck Eddie came from.
Yeah, but I did say while we were watching, a lot of guys are going to go up, and you need some main event guys. That's why you have people like Ridge. That's why you have people like Eddie right now. Unfortunately, if we may not like them, but you have to get used to them. They are going to be the next
batch
of main eventers, and then they might get over. They might not.
Yeah.
It all depends on if the crowd likes them or not. But
yeah.
Moving on from this confusing ending to a match, we go to another match with a similarly confusing ending.
Yep.
And this is Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. No stipulation.
Just a match.
Yeah, just a match.
However, Javon was on Demon Time.
Yeah, so Javon literally was training in like Dark Souls or Elden Ring, and he learned all of Ethan's parry timings. Like,
parry timing, dodge rolls.
Like, a big part of the first part of the match was Ethan going for a strike on the mouth.
Yep.
He was looking to break the jaw.
Yep, end it quick. But Javon just was on that Demon Time, counter offense, dodged everything. And then around, like, if we were to call this, like, this match a 3-act play, around Act 2, Ethan realizes, like, alrighty, just tunnel visioning on the jaw ain't gonna work. I gotta actually pull stuff out of my bag.
Yeah, but on the way to Act 2, because I was thinking similarly, on the way to Act 2, Javon hits a cutter and appears to break Ethan's nose.
Yep, that thing was gushing.
It was gushing. But then we enter Act 2. We end Act 1 on Ethan putting Javon's ankle in the stairs and kicking it.
Bonebreaker Page.
And now we enter Act 2, and that was all Ethan focusing on the leg. A lot of offense. There was like a foot DDT. He did a lot of just damage, just various stomps to the leg.
Yep.
Just weakening it up.
Yep. And then, we go to Act 3 where it moves back to a 50-50 now.
Yeah. So Javon starts getting his comeback. He starts flying all around the place on one leg, which is fucking insane.
Yep. Ethan pulls stuff out of his bag, including an Ego's Edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're basically trying to end this match. Like, Javon's hurt in multiple places now, and the beginning of the match offense has gassed Ethan.
Yeah, so going into the end of the match, we hit I think this was in the end of the match.
Yes.
Javon hits a Blue Thunder Bomb. Ethan kicks out. Javon does one of his springboard kicks, where it was a whirly-dirly fucking thing.
Yep.
And so he hits Ethan. Ethan rolls out the ring, and he says, "You know what? Fuck it." Hobbles his way across the ring and still fucking clears the top rope, taking out Ethan. He throws Ethan back into the ring. He goes for his
springboard
cutter and punch right to the jaw, knocking the mouth guard out. Not the 1, 2, 3 yet. He picks Javon up for a twisted smile, they said? Or twisted grin?
Twisted grin.
Twisted Grin, which is a variation, was just the Twist of Fate.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Ethan Page wins. Confusing ending, but this confusing ending did not halt the enjoyment of the match.
No. This confusing ending still made sense.
Mm-hmm.
With how the build-up for the previous strap match was.
It looked like Trick was winning.
Yes. For this Javon versus Ethan match, Ethan was gonna get that jaw shot.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way Javon could have demon timed for that long.
Yeah.
Whether that was going to be the end of the match or not was still TBD, but
I'm gonna give this 4.75. It was fucking amazing.
I'm gonna do an awkward decimal. Obviously, because of the ending, I'm not going to. Actually, no, I'm gonna still give it 5 stars. Actually, This was another all gas no brakes match. Seeing Javon go demon time, discussing his origins into wrestling during the match, and watching him just go and just seeing the storytelling through the fighting of Ethan's now adapting, and a lot of people are saying also Ethan didn't enter the ring with smiling, and he also pointed with the opposite hand.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some discussion when he first broke Javon's jaw about Ethan possibly having a gimmick change and going more for a bone breaker gimmick.
Could be.
Yeah, but it's it's iffy with gimmicks based entirely off of injuring. In the most recent watching, that gimmick sort of falls under the PFC stuff of whenever they get involved in business, someone always gets injured.
Mm-hmm.
They are basically sent because someone's injured and they need to write them off, or when they get involved, someone ends up injured.
Yeah, they're the bone collectors.
Yep, and I don't like that gimmick because the Raw roster for the women's division already has a lot of powerhousing. I feel like you can just focus off that, just trying to be the best semi-fairly, but I'm not saying the Bone Breaker gimmick is bad, it's an awkward spot with the Raw roster. But for Ethan Page and the NXT men's division, it's happened a lot more organically. It was brought up through internet discussion of Ethan's face changed when he broke that jaw. Ethan's demeanor changed when he broke
Cedric's fingers.
It's he's kind of enjoying this almost. It feels more organic than just hey, no one likes us and we end up injuring a lot of people. Let's just make that our gimmick.
So I feel like this leaves Javon on the shelf just for a little bit longer. I think just until the jaw heals. Because after the match he was bleeding.
Yep.
And then they pretty much cut to commercial. And I think here's where we got our LFG commercial.
Yeah.
Where it started introducing some of the stars of LFG.
Basically the favorites that are gonna get a lot of camera time.
Yep. Which is a classic marketing tactic. We discussed watching Evolve, but it's on a weird day. It's Sunday.
Well, no, it's LFG is on Sunday. Evolve, the other development show, is on
Tubi.
On Wednesdays.
So it will basically compete with
AEW.
Yeah. So good luck to them. I salute you, soldier.
Sadly, I don't think your development show is gonna beat out your biggest competitor.
Your development show is gonna beat out your competitor. Yes.
If you switch NXT back to Wednesday, I could see some competition.
Yeah, I could see it. But also, then we also have to discuss the Wednesday Night Wars. And AEW did lead some of those shows. So
yeah,
it was a much better ratings war than the fucking Monday Night Wars. That's for damn sure.
Yep, WCW crushed those nights.
Yep, for what was it, 76 weeks, 72?
70. It was a while, 72 weeks, and then WCW sort of hit a writer's block where they started
They
tying.
hired Vince Russo.
Yeah, they started tying. Raw started tying, and then finally overtook. WCW lost enough money where Vince McMahon was able to buy out the company and roster.
Yep. But some people did stay home, like Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Sting went to TNA, but that is neither here nor there. Speaking of TNA, actually, before we get into your men's NXT match, we get a backstage thing with, or was this after the? No, this was after the men's match. So, Pardon me, gonna reverse that. So, going into your NXT men's title match, it is a triple threat. A-Town Down Under, entering solo tonight. So, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and Oba Femi, your NXT men's champion.
Every time Oba enters the ring.
Oh my God, Oba Femi destroyed these
I am literally watching him on the other side of the country through my screen, and the aura this man gives off is like, is he behind me?
Dude, I want to see him versus Jacob Fatu. I want to see him versus Jacob Fatu so fucking badly.
I just want to see him on the main roster already. I get that he is going to have a lengthy NXT world title reign.
Yeah, we were discussing this during the match. We don't know who's going to beat him.
No. Literally, you brought down former main roster tag champs to try to team up on him, and that didn't work.
Yeah, so the big story within this match is will they, won't they with A-Town Down Under?
Yep.
Will they fight Oba together, or will they not, and will they just fight amongst themselves? And
The answer is kind of both.
yeah, so for, I would say, the first act of this match, if we're going 3-act structure, it was very much A-Town Down Under working together.
Yep.
And then Act 2 was Oba Femi on fucking Demon Time.
Yep.
Putting Grayson on the apron, slapping his chest. Theory comes out of nowhere in the air, slaps that man down.
That slap echoed.
Removed the tabletop, and we were like, that's an old table.
Yeah. Someone going through that.
I don't recall NXT having a new announcement table, a new style, but they could. And like we said, no one's gone through that. Because even last night on SmackDown, Jacob didn't go through that table.
Yep.
He just landed on top.
Yep. But Loki, if there is a match that is going to break that new table, my money's on a future Oba v Jacob match.
Yeah, but we also see Oba throw the stairs at Austin Theory, which I love that spot. It is
and by throw, gamey. We mean from corner to corner.
It is so video gamey. Zach said it's the exact same length that you can throw the steps in 2K. Yeah, and then when Oba was going to grab the stairs to murder Grayson Waller, drop toe hold. Oba drops the stairs and face plant, classic spot. And now we get into Act 3, and this is kind of the breakdown of A-Town Down Under. They start fighting within each other.
Because Oba is down for the count, and they realize, like, he's down for the count. We can win this right now. And Grayson starts with, like, hey, you lay down and I'll pin you. And Austin's like, no, you lay down and I'll pin you.
And it was very interesting because for a majority of their will they, won't they never throw a single punch at each other. Intentionally. There's a lot of unintentional contact. So Austin Theory gets hit by Waller in like a corner running spot. where Oba was constantly just squashing Theory. And then the big spot was Oba puts Waller through the table, and Austin Theory hits the A-Town down. 1, 2, kick out from Oba. Or no, not kick out. Ref pulled out by Grayson Waller. And Theory's just like, why? Why would you do that?
We could have had the belt.
And it was also weird because earlier, Waller puts Oba through a table that they set up. And Theory is the one that takes that pin.
Yes.
He goes for the pin. Oba kicks out. But then Oba he wakes back up. They start arguing, and it gives Oba enough time to literally toss Austin Theory around. He hits him with a spine buster. He goes for the fall from grace. And Waller hits his finisher on Theory.
Yep, the
His
roll from the outside stunner.
Yep. And then Theory goes out the ring, and Oba hits a fall from grace on Waller. 1, 2, 3.
And
ruler
still
is your NXT champion, Oba Femi. Now, this match, I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. For me, I don't know what you're gonna give it, but it's another 5 for me.
I'll give it a 4.5. Like, weapon spots were cool. I get why they don't want to pull the trigger on an
Actually,
NXT.
4.75. A-Town Down Under should have actually fought themselves.
Yes, I feel like I get why they don't want to pull the trigger on an NXT show, but I feel like where the breakup story is going from here should have been more definitive. Like, their attitude toward each other is a little more hostile now, but I feel like we should have gotten a clearer angle on going into Monday, since they're on the Raw roster now. Will they have a discussion about breaking up, or do they feel like they are already done? And we received no clear imagery or answer on that. But we ain't done with this match.
Yeah, so after the match, lights go out. 1 spotlight, 2 spotlight, 3 spotlight, 4. And we see the Shield 2.0 reemerge. The only person that I know for sure that is in this group is Dion Lennox.
Yep.
And we'll get to our reaction to that afterwards.
Yeah. They dropped some other names, but there was so much chaos going on that we didn't listen to them. And also, they're just recently contracted, so we also don't personally know them. Hopefully by Tuesday, we learn the name of their faction and the names of the other 3.
Yeah, but so they pretty much jump. So they're there, they stare. This is where we get the first full zoom ins on their masks. So we see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Their spotlights go out. There's like a strobing spotlight looking for them.
Yep. And they in the ring jumping over.
They in the ring already. The dude in the do-rag and knee brace, like I said, he's my favorite. He literally jumps over Oba Femi and starts punching him on the back pretty much. They get him into the corner.
Yep. And Oba's holding his own despite just going through that triple threat, but like,
It's the numbers game.
Yeah, he is Oba. He's still got some gas in him, but like, the numbers game gets to him.
At the end of the day, he is just a man. So they get him down, they pick him up, and what looks like is going to be a triple power bomb. They toss Oba in the air.
2 people toss him to the other 2 for the other 2 to finish the power bomb.
Yeah, so a quadruple power bomb.
Ow!
Yeah. And then they stand in the middle of the ring, and we see person we don't know. Person we don't know. Person we don't know.
Oh, hey, Dion.
Dion Lennox. What? No, I knew Dion was a part of this group. It's just weird. It's like, I was saying this. It's like seeing your old friend in like a gang.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's like a different environment. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's like you getting jumped, your money's getting taken out of your wallet, and you're like, "Oh, sup, Kyle?"
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah,
I haven't seen you since freshman year.
Yeah, so that sounds a little personal, Trevor. Did that happen to you?
No.
No, but yeah, so that's the last we see of them that night. I did think that they left, and I thought that this should have main evented the show, but once we get to the main event, we'll see why it wasn't.
Yeah.
But before we get to that main event, earlier on in the show, Ricky Starks posted to Twitter a little message. I think he is signing his contract Tuesday.
Yep.
We will get answers. They still don't know if he's going to be called. Well, internally he's called Ricky Starks.
Yes.
So he's probably getting his name.
But publicly, they have still yet officialized that he is keeping that name.
I really hope he's not Trill London.
No.
If he's Trill London, I'm jumping off the London Bridge. But,
yeah.
So, before the segment that I was going to get to was Ava talking to Sarah Schreiber, and she was like, I don't know. Those four men definitely wanted to make a message, and they made one. And then we get Ariana Grace coming in. She said, thank you for having me be the NXT liaison over in TNA. And I brought a gift, and I popped so fucking hard. Santino Marella, my goat, was on TV. Yeah, Santino Marella makes his WWE return. I just love to see it. I love to see it.
And he basically mentions that
I have some ideas. You have some ideas.
Let's get to talking.
And I think Worlds Collide is happening later. I think Worlds Collide is happening around Survivor Series.
Yes.
That is my personal prediction, and I think that is going to be the best show of the year.
Yes.
Other than maybe Mania if they don't fuck it up.
Probably around Survivor Series since they are similar concepts. I would not be surprised if it is the NXT PLE Saturday PLE, not the weekly editions, but like actual Saturday PLE, the one after Stand and Deliver, because you just had NXT's version of WrestleMania. Now we go into Crossover Mania.
Yeah, geez. This is where maybe they start doing dual booked shows, which would be cool. I think this ultimately culminates in a Worlds Collide. And I said, I need to see Obafemi toss around Joe Hendry.
Yep.
Sorry, Joe, I love you, but you gotta die for this. It's a business. It's just business.
Yeah.
But we get into our main event.
Yeah.
It is a fatal four-way for the NXT. Oh, yeah, no, we graded the last one.
Yes.
NXT Women's Championship. We get Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade versus Bayley versus your NXT Women's Champion, Julia.
Oh.
This match cooked. Bayley, when she made her entrance, was like, come on, are you guys still awake? I am sorry. People are exhausted after what the fuck just happened in the Oba match. The crowd did not get hot, really, for this match. We sure as fuck did.
Yep.
Oh my god, this match was amazing. It very much, once again, will they, won't they, with Cora and Roxanne. They ultimately worked together a lot of the time, but they did scrap.
Yep.
With Roxanne throwing a tantrum in the third act of the match.
It ended with a they won't.
Yeah, they won't. They'll just kill each other. That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
But
people pulled stuff out of their bag.
Yeah, so I'm trying to just exactly remember all the spots that happened. There's so many. The big spots I can remember was a pop rocks to the outside.
Yep.
There was two Arrivederces, and surprisingly, Roxanne gets pinned. Julia retains.
Yep.
Not to lead you guys on, Julia retains.
Yeah, we saw Julia trying to go for many a crucifix pins.
There was a Tower of Doom spot, a modified one with a side suplex with a regular suplex.
With a power bomb on the bottom.
Yeah, that's a staple in the Tower of Doom. But, oh my God.
I'm like, because you asked me, like, would you ever participate in a Tower of Doom? And initially I was like, F, nah. And then I'm like, depending on where I'm at.
And I'm like the top.
And I'm like, sure. But I don't trust myself being the bottom man.
Yeah, dude. There was also a Tower of Doom in the NXT men's match, which was Austin Theory's legs were shaking like a chicken. But back to this match. Dude. Amazing.
Cora knocked herself out because of how much energy being the bottom person in the Tower of Doom took.
All four of these women put on an effort. Dude, amazing from start to finish. So it ended with an Arrivederci and a Northern Lights bomb.
Yep.
Julia retains, and then after she's celebrating, Stephanie Verkar comes out.
Yep.
They have a literally 1 to 3 second stare down.
Yep.
They hold up both their belts. Woo!
Jordan Grace has officially signed with WWE and has officially contracted with the NXT brand. And she is looking for gold right away.
I don't think she's winning gold right away. I think they're keeping her till after Mania. Because all the reports are indicating that she is in NXT just for a little bit.
Yeah.
She is main roster bound for sure. I can't wait to see like her first feuds. I can't wait to see her just work with everyone in NXT. Yeah. It's gonna be good, and that's how the show ends. But a little preview for Tuesday. We have a tag match between Sol Ruka and Zarya versus the Meta Girls.
Yeah, Sol Ruka and Zarya had a little like Twitter vignette that they showed on the show of like this Tuesday the Meta Girls versus what are we gonna call ourselves again?
Yeah, and then they just did like a montage
of like them just being friends.
Yeah, it was good. And then we also have
we have Dax versus Sean Spears.
Yeah, we had that little vignette earlier. Then we have the #1 contendership for the North American Women's Championship with Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, and Carmen Petrovic.
And that is all the confirmed matches on the match card. Obviously, we're going to get promo bouts into impromptu matches as we usually do on weeklies, but those are the 3 for sure matches.
Yep, and then the 1 for sure segment is Ricky Starks.
Contract signing,
Yep, and that is about it for this episode of NXT.
Yeah. We do need to rate the women's match, though. We forgot about that.
So,
I'm going to give it 5. Like, daggum, just...
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Especially with Jordan Grace appearing at the end.
Yeah. I'm going to give the overall PLE 4.75, because holy...
I'm going to give it 4.5. I feel like the result of the Trick match and Eddie Thorpe match...
It leaves me with so many question marks.
It leaves me with so many question marks. You could definitely tell the air was taken out of the stadium.
Yeah.
And then it was definitely taken out again with Javon losing. But energy rose back up, obviously, with the final 2 matches of the card.
Yep.
And the Shield 2.0 debut. That's what everyone's calling them. So, this was NXT Vengeance Day. We'll be coming at you Monday for Raw. And, that's about it. We'll see you then. This has been Caleb, Trevin, Zach behind that camera as always. Are you not going to do it? Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. Thank you for your time and peace.